Look at that. I finally got an intro, and I can take no credit for it. My boyfriend put it together, which was really sweet of him, and he actually deserves a lot more credit because he edits all of my videos because I have enough patience to sit down and work on art for 4 hours straight, no problem. But technology and me just don't get along. We're not good. We're not good together. I've worked on iPads a lot, and even with those iPads, which are supposed to be like the easiest thing to work on, I still manage to screw it up, so yeah, probably best that I keep my hands off the computer as much as possible, and I just keep my hands on a pencil or pen, whichever it is. But today, I decided to draw Pikachus. I love Pikachu. Pikachu's like, everybody knows Pikachu, you know? He's everywhere, all over the place. And I was wondering what he would look like in different colors, because, you know, yellow isn't my favorite color, red is, but not yellow, so I was wondering what Pikachu would look like, red, or blue, or green, and so that's kind of what's going to be going on today. And you might notice that I decided to do a pre-made template, so I drew all these little guys, rough drafts of them out beforehand. And the reason I did that is because I only have to draw once on pen and paper, while if I were to do the same thing on Krita, which is what I use right now, I do have Photoshop, but I haven't made the leap to use it yet. I'm kind of starting with the basics on digital art. But yeah, so if I were to use Krita, I'd probably have to redraw it a dozen times because I'm a little slow on tech. So instead of making us sit through that, I just skipped the hardest part, and I basically am coloring today, which is fun as heck. I love coloring. Might I say, this red Pikachu did not turn out how I wanted him to. I thought red was going to be amazing, because red is the best color ever, but he didn't. He looked like a little demon. And like, at least halfway through, he looked there it is. Look at those soulless eyes. And immediately I was like, oh my god, he needs some pupils. There they are. And I messed up on him, and he looks derpy, which made him look a little better than demonic. I fix him later. But yeah, I had high hopes for red, but red didn't work out. Who knew? If you were to have a Pikachu as a pet, like let's say that these things were real, which would be awesome, and Pokemon Go doesn't count, what color would you want a Pikachu to be? Like, would you keep it traditional yellow? Personally, the blue one that I drew later turned out to be my favorite, so I think I'd go with blue. Pikachu is the best Pikachu. I should mention, I actually didn't notice that I was doing this until maybe, yeah, the blue Pikachu in. So the cheek colors that I choose are going to be the main body color for the next Pikachu. That was completely accidental, but I realized I was doing it and just stuck with it. Also, I gave him little foot pads, because I know Pikachu's a mouse, and mice don't have big foot pads like Pikachu does, but I thought it would be really cute. I like foot pads, I guess, on animals. I didn't give him little toe beans like a cat, though, so meh. Jump around. soulless eyes. Definitely in need of some pupils. Pikachu would be terrifying if he didn't have those little white... I don't know if they're supposed to be pupils or just accent, like lighting marks, which would make sense. But yeah, he's terrifying without them. And I thought that green and pink would look really good together. You know, it's such a popular color combination, and everybody seems to really like it. And I don't know, it didn't look that great on Pikachu, which, you know, maybe pink Pikachu just wasn't made to be. Maybe I chose the wrong color of pink, the wrong shade. But he looks happy at least. At least he's a happy little bugger. The tail was oddly enough my least favorite part to draw or color in. I think it's because it has that weird, awkward little squiggle. That's the only thing I could think that would make me dislike it. Sometimes I can't put words, like I don't understand why something is the way it is or why I feel something about it, but it's always something. And here's a green little guy. I liked the green one. I thought he turned out okay. He kind of looks like a little munchkin, the way he's holding his arms, but I used a lot of different reference photos. Each Pikachu had 2 different reference photos I used, which was another reason I decided to do it in pen rather than put all these references all over the screen. Purple cheeks. I like green and purple together. Maybe not this green and purple, but it's probably one of my favorite weird, wacky color combinations. In middle school, our school colors were green, purple, and orange. That is the weirdest color combination, and they weren't even like bright green and purple, they were pastel green and purple. I must have gone to a weird middle school, man. I've never seen any awkward color combinations like that together for any other school's colors. So curious. Or surprised. I see it as curious. Whoop, can't do that yet. Layers are fun. Sometimes I screw up layers. I do it often. I think it happens to a lot of artists. But there's usually a way to work around it. Most of the time I screw up in a way where I try to move a set of layers, or like a layer, but you can't do that until you merge them together. So I just wait till the end, and then I merge all of them together, and then I can move things around freely without scrambling them all up. This Pikachu had potential, but then he ended up looking like Raichu. Kind of almost the same color combination. And I was saddened because now he just looks like a derpy Raichu, but whatever, he's okay. But it did go full circle. Like I said, it was completely accidental that the cheek pouches determined the next body color of Pikachu, but it worked out in the end, because that's how I got all the way around the color wheel, and it just so happened that I drew the perfect number of Pikachus. Pretty sweet. Sometimes you just stumble upon things, which I love, because it doesn't happen to me often. And shading. I did originally intend this to be a very simple, just flat piece, but I don't know, I love shading. It's my favorite part of drawing, which I know is weird. A lot of artists hate it. It just adds more depth, makes things look a little more realistic. I was not going for realistic in this piece. In my other ones I do, my other Pokemon stuff, which I have not put on YouTube yet. But I don't know. I love shading. Now I can move him. See? Works out in the end. And I did decide on a black background because I didn't want to do a different color and have one of the poor Pikachus just melt into the background. So I did black, so I had to outline all of their little ears. And that took a while. But that is a-okay, because at least none of my Pikachus look like they are melting into a solid color background. Look at how happy he looks. I was tempted to draw a little tooth. I do that with almost all of my Pokemon. If you ever see any of my evolutions that I've drawn, they all have a little tooth added in. I don't know why I do that. I just do it. It's not even to be realistic, but I figured, with that angle, probably a little canine tooth would be showing. But I decided not to do it for the Pikachus. And as this one wraps up, I just want to thank you for watching, and if you want to subscribe, go ahead, because I probably will be uploading more than once a week, since with this whole quarantine craze going on, I have a lot more time to do art, so I'm aiming for twice a week. But yeah, thank you for watching. See ya, bye.